welcome to Top 10 Tennis TV, the ABCs of Melbourne's largest and most progressive tennis school, the Top 10 Tennis Academy. I'm your host, Hamish Clark. Top 10 specialises in the delivery of MLC tennis hotshots coaching, cardio tennis, adults, ladies, private lessons. Joining me in the studio here today, we have the Director of Participation, Mr. Tim Shackleton. How are you going today, Tim?
Good, thanks, Hamish. Hopefully today I can provide a bit of insight about Top 10 and its programs.
Thank you, Tim. Great to have you here. We also have the Director of High Performance Coaching, Aniket Gaskampfi. Aniket, how are you today?
Pretty good, Hamish. How are you?
Going well, very good, thank you. Thank you for joining us on set.
It's our pleasure.
Terrific. Well, we'll get straight into it and we'll go to the teaching venues. So where does all the action happen? What are the different locations of the Top 10 Tennis Academy?
Yeah, so our major venues in terms of tennis clubs, Mishy, is Burwood Tennis Club. We've got Deep Dean Tennis Club and North Kew Tennis Club. And we also coach at a few schools as well.
Fantastic. So Annie, it's not just tennis clubs?
No, just as Tim mentioned, it's not all just the clubs. It's involves schools as well. So they have a major school like Scotch College, Campbell Grammar School and different primary schools at Hartwell, Ashburton.
Fantastic, lots of different locations. Well, one of the major services offered by the Top 10 Tennis Academy is, of course, the restringing with a range of different options for badminton, tennis and squash. We have in studio today, we have Natalie, who is the Top 10 Operations Manager. She's attempting to string as many rackets as possible for the show's duration. Tim, how many rackets do you think Natalie can string?
Well, Natalie's our most experienced stringer at Top 10, so I reckon she'll pump out 3 today, Mishy.
Fantastic, 3. And Aniket?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. I'm going to go with 3 too. So she's over there, but hosted with Peter Owen. Peter, can you hear me? How's that? Has Natalie done her warm-ups?
I can hear you, Mishy. Thanks very much. I'd firstly like to introduce Nat Attack. Well, it's Natalie, but her known officially as Nat Attack. So she is the star of the show here. Nat Attack, have you done your warm-ups?
Yep, the fingers are going.
How many do you think you can do here, Nat Attack?
Done a couple. I'm trying and get through this one by the end of the show. So we'll see if we can start a second one after this.
Fantastic. Well, good luck, Nat Attack, and we'll go back to you, Hamish.
Thank you very much, Peter, and good luck to Nat Attack as well. Well, we're moving to part 1 of our program today, which is the Top 10 Tennis programs, different opportunities and pathways offered. And what better place to start than MLC Tennis Hotshots, which is arguably the biggest range of packages at Top Tennis with over 800 students involved. Tim, could you be able to run us through about what MLC Tennis Hotshots is at Top 10?
Yeah, beautiful. So it's a Tennis Australia endorsed program, and basically it's behind modifying equipment to maximise the students' learning process. So we start with the red ball. The red ball is aimed at 5 to 8 year olds, and the ball's quite a little bit bigger than a regular ball, and it's 25% compression, so to slow it down through the air and bounce lower, so it's more relative to the height of a 5 to 8 year old. Slowing it down through the air gives them more time to practice correct technique rather than rushing and doing sloppy technique, so we can utilise the best technique. Moving on to orange ball. We use orange ball over the full net, so it uses 2/3 the size of a full tennis court, so that works out to be about 6.5 metres in width and about 18 metres in length. And this ball's the same size as a regular tennis ball, but it's 50% compression, so again slightly slower but a bit faster than the red ball because the students are a bit more progressed in terms of their developmental readiness. And then green ball we go to full court, and it's 75% compression, so it's getting close to the regular yellow ball, but a little bit slower. And in green ball, all the rules are the same as you'd see in club competition.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Tim. Well, Annika, I've got some of the goodies, I believe, for our different Top 10 MLC Tennis Hotshots. Can you run us through some of the things they receive?
Yeah, so what happened is when any of the kids join the Top 10 tennis program, so they get this MLC Hotshot t-shirts, which encourage them because as a kid they love different things as a gift or as a reward. So we usually give them a t-shirt for the boys and girls, and we also usually have a backpacks which comes along with the t-shirts as well. So
fantastic.
Yeah, those are the 2 things we give them to the kids when they join our Top 10 tennis program.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think, Tim, you've also got there some Hotshots competency passed over to Annie. So the report cards, I believe, Annie. So what's the purpose of the competency reports?
So, yeah, as Timmy mentioned, they have 3 different color balls, which is red, orange and green. And every coach have a different students who play with different color balls. So with all this thing, what happened is, Hamish, they have in each of the hotshot competency reports, they have a different segments, which is on serve, rally, whether the kid loves the sports or if he's a good sports person. So depending on that, the coach goes through the marking criteria, which is 1, 2, and 3.
Fantastic.
So 1 is the developing, and second is getting better and better.
Beautiful.
So which helps to understand the coach as well as the kid and the parents.
Thank you, Annie. So we'll move, once the students progress from MLC tennis hotshots and through the coloured balls, they move towards Teen Extreme coaching programs. Tim, can you tell us a bit about Teen Extreme and Teen Extreme Plus?
Yeah, so Teen Extreme, generally after they've graduated green ball, we'll put them into a Teen Extreme squad. So basically we're still looking at technique, but our main focus is tactical play. So developing a winning strategy both at the start of a match, depending on their opponent, and during a rally, how to build a rally. So when they've developed their skills tactically, we try and get them into club competition. So they'll play inter-clubs, so we play in the Waverley district, so WDTA. And also for the more experience, so getting into more mid-teens, we can even introduce them to the state's premier competition, the pennant.
Beautiful. I think, Annie, you work a little bit with the Teen Extreme Plus program, so the first of schools like Scotch College and Camberwell Grammar.
Yep, that's right. I usually travel with the first team, which is the first team of the school, which is the toppest section they play with. So they need a lot of trainings and a lot of matches to get better and better. So we usually have their training session twice a week, and then they play a match on the weekends. We also have them for the holiday clinics and different camps. We just came through with the Campbell Grammar boys. We just got them to Phillip Harlan for the camp, which helped them for the good, getting better and better with tennis, playing with different atmosphere. So enjoyment, have fun, and at the same time learn tennis and get better with tennis and
Fantastic.
Get better for their season.
Well, let's change the pace a little bit now, and we'll move to cardio tennis. Now, cardio tennis was designed on the research that people that wanted to play tennis and people that already play tennis did so predominantly because of social interaction and also because of fitness as well. Toptenn tennis was a huge part as to why cardio tennis arrived on Australian shores, and is a big believer in it as another avenue or pathway for people to get into tennis, and as a social and fitness program for people to enjoy with friends, and also to increase their tennis skills without even realising it. Tim, you are our cardio tennis king, as you're known. Can you please tell us a little bit about cardio tennis?
Yeah, no worries, Missy. So it's aimed at mainly teenagers and adults. It's a fitness-based program run on the tennis court, and we use modified balls to help level out amateur players with more experienced players. So you don't need tennis experience to participate in cardio tennis. Usually have around 6 to 8 people per court, and then the 3 main markers of cardio tennis is that, as you mentioned, it's social, it's fun, and most of all, it's burning calories, so fitness. So it's set up in 3 stages. So we've got our warm-up session, 5 to 10 minutes, and then drill-based session, where the coach will feed, utilising fitness equipment such as hurdles, ladders, skipping ropes, cones, etc. And then our final stage is our rally stage. So we'll incorporate those fitness equipment, let's play rally-based games, so team-based, rally-based games. Major thing with cardio tennis is our heart rate monitors. So what this allows is our students to progress their heart rate throughout the session, and we give them a zone to try and aim for to burn the most calories they possibly can in the hour.
Beautiful. So I think you mentioned in there about music. So Annie, can you tell us a bit more about cardio tennis music?
Yeah. So what happened is the tennis activity of the cardio tennis and the music, they goes at the same time. So if there is one thing is lacking, they both has to be go at the same time. So with the music, it's what happened is we chose old classics as well as the top 40 Australia songs. But this only the criteria is that this music has to be 140 beats per minute.
Fantastic.
Because according to the Australian Tennis Australia research, that if it's 140 beats per minute, the client can work more and more harder, and they get a more better heart rate.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, that brings us to the end of part number 1, our programs and the opportunities offered at Toptenn Tennis. We'll see you right after the break for the special teaching equipment used. Welcome back to Toptenn Tennis TV. Tim and Annika have been good enough to stick with us for part 2 of the program today, the special teaching equipment. And we'll start with the new Playmate ball machine, Tim, which I believe is one of the only of its kind in Australia, and has over 700 different settings. So could you please tell us a bit more about this tool?
Yeah, the combinations of settings are pretty much endless. It's the premier ball machine in Australia at the moment. You can vary each feed, so you can have up to a 7-ball drill, and you can vary each feed with height, spin, slice, so sideways movement left and right off the court, and you can also delay your feed, so you can give your kids more time to prepare between each shot. You can also choose the direction, so there's 7 different directions that you can aim it at, and you can also randomise the feed selection, so you might have 7 different balls set up, and then it'll be completely random in which order they fire, just to help kids react with their reaction time.
Beautiful.
And agility.
Yeah, and you can I think, use the iPad app too, can't you, to
Yeah,
program
yeah.
different...
Amazingly, you can use your iPad to change the settings and also start and stop the ball machine.
It's quite incredible, all through Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well, Annie, I couldn't help but notice over there that you've got a launch controller for the new Apollo space shuttle.
Yeah.
I think that's actually the ball
Oh,
remote.
that's pretty good. A lot
Control.
of different controls there and
Yeah.
different settings. But I'll just go to just in the brief one is like they have a different kind of, as you can see, they are numbered. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are different shot selections, and which you can set up. As Timmy said, they have a different selections on spin, the height of the bow and the speed of the bow, and how delay you want between the one and the second bow. So you can choose those settings as well as the shot sequence. So if you need a number 7 shot first and then after that number 2, so you can set up according to it and with the different directions.
Yep.
So which direction do you want to feed the ball in? Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I believe that's not the only ball machine that's come recently. We've also had the one most recent Ace Attack arrive from the US, which also looks a little bit like a Mars Explorer. Tim, can you tell us a little bit about your dealings with that one?
Yeah, so the Ace Attack's main feature is the fact that it has an elevated ball shoot, so it can elevate up to a serving height, so approximately greater than 3 metres even. Anakin and I actually tested it out, and we put it on the highest setting. We managed to get it at 200 kilometres an hour, and it can impart massive amounts of spin, both top spin, slice, underspin, and so you can also dial it down, so we can use it for our hot shots programs. So orange ball and green ball would be really good.
Fantastic.
Just to give a different trajectory look from the student, so really good for a turn of serve.
Brilliant. So we'll move on to our next piece of equipment now, the new equipment, also direct from the US, which is our Speedstar 3 radar gun and LCD display from Bushnell. Now, Annie, you are the Toptenn Tennis Speed Enforcement Officer. Now, can you tell us a little bit about this tool and how it works?
Oh yeah, this is it looks like a little bit small equipment, but it does a lot of amazing work out there. So what happens is you can see as a red button out here. So when person is serving, if you push this trigger, the red button, it will display you the how faster that person is serving, and how much kilometer per hour, how much miles per hour, depending on your settings of this machine. And then at the same time, it also displays on the LCD. So the person who's sitting out or the person who's serving can also see on the big screen how hard he's serving. Yeah.
Yeah, terrific. So that's completely wirelessly
Yeah,
too,
that's
isn't it?
completely wireless. Yeah. So that's a bit more motivating for the people as well.
Terrific.
How fast they can serve. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, we'll keep moving along. We've also got the video analysis iPad app. Now, Nick Gissing is a former Top 10 tennis coach, and he became a senior analyst at Tennis Australia. Top 10 also already had a big focus on using video analysis to improve performance and technique, but it's one of the products that he produced with TA. And Tim, I think you used the program in the device in your coaching?
Most certainly. It's very, very good for private coaching. What they've done is broken it down into red ball, orange ball and green ball, and Tennis Australia have chosen a model student for each stage. So red ball for the 5 to 8 year olds, orange ball 7 to 9 year olds, and green ball 9+. So they've chosen their best student they could find to help model your students on their best student they found in that position. So.
Beautiful.
For example, in this shot, you can see a really nice initial shoulder turn from this red ball student. So you can check your student's initial shoulder turn, for example, against the model students to see how well they're progressing, and it'll be a good guide to choose when to graduate them up to the next level ball too.
Beautiful. Just good. I think you can do that side by side and then email it straight to the parents too, can't you?
Yeah.
So we'll move next to the Top 10 Tennis bus, which will be rolling into schools, clubs, centres, everything very, very soon. Tim, can you tell us what sort of projects Top 10 has in mind for this capacity hot MLC tennis hot shots bus.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome looking bus, very colourful, so the kids will love it. As we mentioned before, we deal with half a dozen primary schools, and recently we had a primary school challenge. We had Hartwell play Ashburton Primary at the Burwood Tennis Club, so it'll be fantastic for transporting kids to and from school for those sort of challenges. Also for our older squads and taking them on camps and taking them to tournaments. And also every year we go to the Australian Open and we take kids with us to the Australian Open in January, so they'll be fantastic to rock up in the Hot Shots bus to Melbourne Park.
Exactly, yeah, increasing accessibility. Well, we're going to go back to Natalie and Peter for the restring challenge. Peter, how's Nat Attack going?
She's on fire, Hamish. She's absolutely on fire. She's already strung one racket in record time, halfway through her second. So, Nat, how are you feeling? How's the finger gymnastics, Nat Attack?
Yeah, not bad. Going all right.
So this is at 55 pounds in the
57.
imperial system. 57 pounds. Now, can you just test that for me? Perfect, Mishy. We are on track. Back to the studio.
Thank you very much, Peter. Well, we'll throw to an ad and we'll be back with part number 3. Thank you. Back to the third and final frontier of the Top 10 Tennis TV show. We will be now looking through at the different Top 10 experiences and broader benefits of being part of the Top 10 Tennis team. We're joined in the studio now by Top 10 Tennis Director Peter Owen. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Hamish.
Thank you very much for being with us. And Aniket, of course, has come back to join us again as well. Thank you, Annie.
Thanks, Mitchy.
So we'll go first of all to the Australian Open. Now, tennis fanatics in Melbourne are extremely lucky to have one of 4 Grand Slams in our own backyard. And Top 10 Tennis has been very, very big on introducing our students and giving them the opportunity to soak up the Grand Slam. Peter, how have Top 10 students been involved?
Well, this is a really exciting part of being a part of the Top 10 Tennis Academy, Mish. Because we are cardio tennis deliverers with Tennis Australia, Hot Shots deliverers, and because our coaches are all qualified through Tennis Australia, we qualify to be a part of these activations, which involve our players. Generally our young players will go to the Australian Open. They'll play on centre court, play on Rod Laver Arena, Vodafone Arena, or Hisense Arena, I should say now. It's a fantastic experience. They play in front of the crowd. Their mums and dads are there. They face the paparazzi. They walk through the tunnel. It's a great experience for them, Hamish.
Fantastic. I think you've actually had kids in the President's Reserve and things like that as well, haven't we?
In the front, actually in the seat the President sits in to watch Rafael Nadal train.
Terrific. So, yeah. Well, part of this is the ability to access to the Australian Open and these exclusive benefits. I imagine that many kids have had the opportunity to meet their heroes. Could you give us some examples of that?
Yeah, the kids have had an amazing experience, Mish. From tossing the coin for Rafael Nadal, for Maria Sharapova, Azarenka. They had an opportunity through Nike and AO activation where they were surprised actually. We had a group of children from Top 10. Roger Federer came in and surprised them and gave them each a $300 gift pack, and Azarenka did as well. The kids' jaws dropped. It was an incredible experience for the kids.
It's amazing. I know through the Top 10 have done advertisements with Pat Rafter and Alicia Molik as well. So
they have their featured in both the Hot Shots commercials predominantly, and it's been wonderful. They had opportunities with Andre Agassi. They met Andre Agassi last year, so it doesn't end.
Fantastic. Well, what we'll move next to is the ball kid trials. Now, I know Top 10 Tennis does provide level 1 ball kid training at venues, the Burwood Tennis Club, and quite a few different Top 10 Tennis students have progressed through to becoming ball kids. Can you tell us a bit about that, Peter?
Yeah, look, Hamish, thousands of kids have applied across the state. I think they cut it off at 5,000, and only about 400 kids across the country get to do this, plus some international guests. So we've had a lot of again, through our strong association with Tennis Australia, a lot of ball kids that have survived the trials and got through and just been on court with their heroes, giving them their drink bottles, throwing the balls. And again, just money can't buy experience, Hamish.
Incredible opportunities. Well, we'll go through now to some of the Top 10 Tennis trophies. Now, the Top 10 Tennis Champ system is world famous. It's a great source of encouragement, empowerment for the kids. They really feel like they belong and they're really dedicated to continue with their tennis. Peter, this was your baby, which you created over 20 years ago. Can you please tell us through how the Champ system works?
I can, Mish. There's no great science to it, but Champ is an acronym, which is a hard thing to say, Mishy, but it's for committed, commitment, hard work, attitude, motivation and participation, and a big emphasis on the participation. So it basically rewards players, Mish. This is the little Super Champ. That's the first one they get. That first one's a big one for them. Move up into Super Champ, Mega Champ, Ultra Champ, Hall of Fame, and then, Legend and then Hall of Fame.
Yep.
It might take the kids 6 years to do that, but they're rewarded for their participation, and it's a big thing for the kids to try and collect the set. At the end of that, they've participated, and they're much better tennis players.
It's fantastic. Anneke, that's not the only set of trophies at Top 10 Tennis. I think there's also quite a few others, like the Player of the Term trophy that you've got there.
Yeah, that's right. This is a Player of the Term trophy, so where they get the coach selected a Player of the Term from the different venues. We also have the different academic and school challenge where from all over the Melbourne, all the clubs and all the schools have involved in this program. So they have a challenge matches at each of the holidays, and they play and then see who's the winner.
Fantastic. Thank you, Annie. Well, despite being based in Melbourne, the Top 10 Tennis Academy does feature all over the world in different locations, in several different capacities. Peter, could you please take us through where else we might see Top 10?
Yeah, a really exciting thing happened about probably 3 years ago now, Hamish. One of our coaches went back to India and took the Top 10 concept to India. It's a huge school called Rishikul in New Delhi, and we have a really close association with them. So that's exciting. Also, another one of our former coaches, Daniel Barry, an ex-Scotch student, went on to become a coach, and now he runs the Bahrain Tennis Academy. But because of our international cast of coaches, we have lots of sister schools across the world, not to mention our regional involvement as well with clubs like Benalla, in country Victoria.
Fantastic. Yep. Terrific. What we're going to do now is we're going to cross back to Tim and to Natalie and the restring wind up. We're going to see how many rackets Nat has done. Anneke?
2.
Pete?
2.5.
2.5. We'll cross back now to you, Tim.
Thank you, Hamish. Nat Attack, how have we gone today? How many rackets have we got done?
Yeah, we already got there, Timmy, about 5 there, I think. Just about finished this one.
Massive Nat Attack, almost 6 rackets. I hear your string of choice today is head Singut. How's it going on your fingers?
Yeah, pretty good on the fingers, the Singut. Much easier to do than the polished string.
All right, beautiful. What do you reckon is our prestige string here at Top 10?
Oh, probably the Sonic Pro that most people do, or the Singut.
Yeah, that's my string of choice too. Back to Hamish in the studio. Well done, Nat Attack.
Thank you very much, Tim, and well done to Nat Attack. Great effort. Well, that brings us to the end of a jam-packed Top 10 Tennis TV show. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Tim, Anneke, Peter, Natalie, all the team. For all information, please visit www.top10.com. And we will catch you very soon. Until next time, get into tennis. We'll hopefully see you on the court. Thank you very much for being a part of the Top 10 TV show. Welcome back to Top 10 Tennis TV. We would like to take this opportunity to extend a very special thank you to the most important part of Top 10 Tennis, our families. It's our #1 goal to make sure that every single player at Top 10 feels as if they belong and they are a valued member of our tennis communities. Tennis is for everyone, for boys and girls of all ages all across the world, and because of this, Top 10 offers a program for 2-year-olds all the way through to seniors for beginners, intermediate and advanced players. Top 10 Tennis would like to thank you for making it all possible across all our clubs, schools and centres. Everywhere at Top 10, it's fantastic to see parents, siblings, families and children all learning together. On behalf of the entire Top 10 Tennis team, we'd like to thank you for your unwavering support. Thank you.